Akon City, a futuristic African city, was unveiled amidst great hype in 2018 by R&B singer Akon. This real-world Wakanda-esque city is to be built in the country of Senegal, where he is from. But since then, little has materialized apart from the foundation stone which was laid at the unveiling of the site in 2020. So is Akon City turning out to be more of a con city? In this video, we'll unpack why we think it might be. Make sure you watch until the end because reason 6 will surprise you. Also, let us know in the comments whether you think Akon City is legit or just a pipe dream. But first, what is Akon City? Akon City was initially compared in the press with Wakanda, the amazing African metropolis featured in the Black Panther movies and comic books. It received a lot of media attention because it coincided with the release of the Marvel movie Black Panther back in 2018. Plans for the solar-powered and sustainable city are meant to reflect a real-life Wakanda with universities, hotels, a stadium, an airport for tourists to fly in and out, and boating docks. Plus, there's also meant to be the 10,000-bed hospital, police station, waste facility, and corporate tower. It's meant to rival Dubai on the decadent scale. The site is in the small hamlet of Mbodiene, about a 2-hour drive south of Senegal's capital, Dakar. The city was supposed to be completed by the end of 2023, but after multiple delays, little on the ground appears to have changed since the launch ceremony. In Akon's defense, the COVID pandemic put a spanner in the works and created a 2-year delay. However, in an interview he gave on Vlad TV in October 2022, the singer claimed that construction would commence in 2023 and the city would be completed by 2026.
Now construction is starting 2023. But we still have the 3-year window for the first phase to be done, and our goal is to be the first phase to be done still by 2026.
To date, there is scant sign of any type of construction, with only livestock grazing the arid land of Mbodiene. So why do we think Akon City is just a vanity project? Here are 6 reasons. Secretive finances. With the total budget of $6 billion, only $4 billion has been secured from investors so far. However, the only investor which has been confirmed publicly is Kenyan businessman Julius Mwale. Due to non-disclosure agreements, the names of other investors have not been confirmed. We think this is because Akon hasn't been able to secure other investors, hence why the project hasn't got off the ground yet. Which leads us to our next point. Lack of credibility. Akon is a musician with no experience or relevant qualifications to tackle a project of such a gargantuan scale. Most futuristic cities around the world are built by nation-state governments in collaboration with design and architecture firms. There is a wealth of relevant expertise within these governments to ensure the projects are feasible from the get-go. The same cannot be said of Akon City. Experts have asserted that a city like Akon City would take at least 10 years to complete, but yet Akon assures us it'll be open by 2026, operating on crypto. Akon has said many times that Akon City will run on his own cryptocurrency, Acoin, which has been plagued with its own controversies. Which nation-state would honestly invite a digital currency to form part of the money supply within its borders? There's no way that would be legal for a start. The current legal tender in Senegal is the CFA franc, which is regulated and issued by the Central Bank of West African states, which share the money across the region. We cannot see how a cryptocurrency like Acoin would be attractive to the central bank. It could only be viewed as a threat to the traditional fiat money supply system. Location. Dubai is probably the best example of a work-in-progress futuristic city poised to garner high levels of demand from people wanting to visit and live there. It's very well located in the center of the world and also has a plethora of flights connecting it to all corners of the globe. The same cannot be said of Senegal, which even in an African context doesn't really feature in discussions when it comes to top countries to visit or live in. Shortage of local skills. Senegal is a relatively poor country, with over half the population living below the poverty line and the average salary being only $180 per month. The literacy rate is only 56%. Needless to say, there is a dearth of skills in the country. How does Akon expect to realistically employ Senegalese people to fill all the thousands of jobs that Akon City will ostensibly create when the population primarily exists within the informal economy? He's already come under fire for not appointing Senegalese architecture and construction companies. These contracts were awarded to Emirati and American firms, respectively. Even if he does look to employ Africans across the region, he'll have the language barrier to contend with. Although Senegal is French-speaking, the Gambia, which forms a sliver within Senegal, is English-speaking, and Guinea-Bissau to the south is Portuguese-speaking. Land rights. The land earmarked for Akon City in Mbodiene can no longer be farmed as it is riddled with clay and saltwater. In 2009, it was ceded to the state for future tourism development. Akon then bought this land from the government in 2018. The first phase of Akon City will be built on 55 hectares, but the long-term plan is to use all 504 hectares in Mbodiene. However, so far, compensation has only been paid to the community for the 55 hectares. Without full compensation, it's unlikely Akon City will be built on the entire 504-hectare plot and therefore won't come to fruition. Based on all these reasons, we cannot see how Akon City will become a reality in the future. It seems like one big vanity project, where on this occasion the originator of the idea has been overzealous and bitten off more than he can chew. What do you think? Share your opinion in the comments below.